Welcome back to FM Story. In this episode of the Journeyman, we enter season 4 with Welling. Surely we can get promoted this season. Let's find out. Without further ado, let's get going. If you enjoy this video, please like, subscribe and hit the notification bell to be notified of new videos. We've got new Journeyman videos every Wednesday and Saturday. After the gut punch of that playoff final defeat in the last episode, I discussed the idea of it possibly being my last game as Welling manager. I was out of contract and potentially taking the team as far as we could. We just couldn't seem to get over the hurdle of being promoted. I did apply for a few jobs during the summer, but didn't get any, and they came and offered another year's contract. So I thought we'll give it one last go at getting out of the National League South, and then if we don't get promoted, whether we get another job or not, we'll be moving on. We had some work to do in the transfer window. So the first thing we did was we picked up Danny Rose, just to give us a bit of experience, because we were part of the problem I think we had last season was we had such a young squad that we didn't have any experience. Now, he's probably not going to start every game. He may even just come off the bench, but just having that extra bit of experience there should hopefully stand us in good stead. We lost Jack Spong because of a release clause in his contract. He was wanting to go anyway, so we would never have been able to keep him. Matthew Clark, the offers came in at less than 2k for him. We managed to get Bristol City up to 60k up front with the potential to be 110k. It was just too good a deal to turn down, but we were able to get him back in on loan. And Jack Batten left because he really wasn't in the picture as far as things were concerned. He'd been surpassed by other players last season. We brought in Rob Street as a potential long-term replacement for Matt Clark, just in terms of a bit more sort of physical, good in the air, and a young player that we can hopefully develop. And then we also picked up Elliot Johnson, who can play left back, which means that we're back to the 3 full-backs that we were at the start of last season before Jeremy Kearsey left, just to give us a bit more depth there. Looking at the squad as a whole, we probably need to add maybe a couple of extra bodies in midfield because we're struggling a bit in terms of the midfield players. I mean, we've got Jirajai can play in there, Shikunbi can play in there, Hesketh can play in there, and that's pretty much it at the moment. We do need that, at least one extra body to replace Jack Spong. We've made it to the first day of the season in a home game against Gosport Borough. First thing to say, since we did the little recap on the summer transfer business, we've brought in another player. We brought in Kegs Choker as a centre midfielder who can play that left-hand side of the centre midfield, the more attacking role that we've got. Looks a decent player that we picked up on a free transfer there after he's been released by Southampton. Obviously, he's got 22 under 20 caps for South Africa, so it must be a reasonably decent level. Going into the first game, we've obviously still got a couple of suspensions hanging over from last season. So Aaron Barnes and Shikunbi were both suspended for the playoff final because of the yellow cards that they'd got, and they're both suspended for the opening day of the season. We're going to go in with Ejahari in goal. We'll play Joe Muscat at right back. We've got Casey and Nelson in the centre defence. Elliot Johnson's going to get his debut at left back. We're going to play Jirajai in the box-to-box role, and then we're going to play Choker alongside him. We're going to try Dion Smith behind the front 3. Is Danny Rose, Matthew Clark, and Jaden Smith to start. Okay, so that's the team going into the opening day of the season. Hopefully, we can get off to a good start, and with the home advantage, get off to a good start and sort of lay a marker down for the season ahead. Muscat. And Danny Rose has been pulled down in the box there by the looks of things. Yep, and Jirajai is going to step up to take the penalty. Gave the keeper no chance, and that's 1-0 up after 8 minutes. Muscat to Rose, back to Muscat. He's put Rose in down the side, and he's pulled it across, and Matt Clark picked up another goal, and that's just 2-0 in front. Jirajai. Johnson's going down the wing. Can he get the crossover? Oh, the keeper saves. Danny Rose has got the ball. Spread it across the other side to Johnson. Can we get another cross in? We're playing some decent stuff. Oh, and Clark's got another one. That's 3-0. I mean, this game couldn't really be going much better. Fairly happy with that first half. We've taken some of the chances that have come our way. And I think what we might do, because he's only come in this week, Chalker's probably not up to scratch fitness-wise, so we'll bring on Owen Hesketh for him. What a finish that is. Looked a speculative effort at best. Gave the keeper no chance. And we've picked up another one there. Header from Nelson at the back post from the Durajai free kick. Another free kick in almost the same place. And this time it's Casey at the back post to head home. Both centre halves picking up a goal on the opening day of the season there. So all in all, a pretty decent performance. Created lots of chances, stuck them away. Only conceded 1 goal, which, given the number of goals we've conceded in the last 2 seasons, is while still finishing in the 12th place, this is quite an achievement. Also sees us finish the opening day of the season at the top of the table, obviously. So we've made it past Christmas, and we're currently sitting in a really good position. We're second in the league behind Bath. We've got 48 points from 19 games, with 3 points behind Bath, but we've got 2 games in hand on them. We're level on points with Dorking, but we've got a game in hand on them as well. So we're in a really good position. Obviously, we just need to pick up points in those games we've got in hand. We do have the top goal scorer in Danny Rose so far, who's also ahead of has the highest average rating. So we are in a pretty decent position here in terms of the performance this season. So we've already scored 66 goals. We have conceded quite a few in 29, which is up there, well in the top half of the goals conceded. But we've scored nearly 30 more than everyone else. Since that opening day game against Gosport, we went on after that opening day game against Gosport, we went on a great run of form. We won every game in August and September, and we didn't lose our first game in the league until against Dorking on the 11th of December. We had a great run in the FA Cup. We made it to the first round where we got beat by Portsmouth, and that was only a injury time winner when we were absolutely knackered. Unfortunately, after losing that first game against Dorking, we then lost in the third round of the FA Trophy against Woking. So we've now lost 2 in a row. So it's important that we get back into winning ways, especially with the games in hand that we've got. So we've got a couple of big games coming up against Weymouth and Hornchurch to end the year and start the new year. We have had some wild games like we had last season. I mean, we drew 5-5 with Hampton and Richmond, which was thanks to a 95th minute equaliser from Rob Street. Looking at the squad at the moment, we have pretty much everyone available. Danny Rose has got 26 in 25 games in all competitions. Rob Street's got 12 in 22. But Danny Rose has definitely taken the lion's share of the goal scoring. We do appear to have picked up quite a lot of yellow cards again, as evidenced by the fact that Elliot Johnson suspended and Aaron Barnes and Chowka are a yellow card away from a ban. Overall, we've played pretty well. We're happy with being second in the league, especially with the games in hand. We just need to take advantage of that going forward. So we're now on the 1st of January. The game against Weymouth was postponed because of a waterlogged pitch, so we've got yet another game in hand at the top of the table. And we're going into the game on New Year's Day away at Hornchurch. We have dropped a third in the league just because of having not played that game between Christmas and New Year. So we do have, we're 3 points behind Dorking with 2 games in hand, and we're 4 points behind Bath with 3 games in hand. So going into this game against Hornchurch, we do have Elliot Johnson suspended, as we said. So we're playing obviously Aaron Barnes at right back and Joe Muscat at left back. We've got our first choice centre halves in there. Shikundi and Choker probably our first choice in the midfield too. Girajai behind the front 3 of Clark, Rose and Street. Joe Muscat reading down that left hand side. Somehow it's come back to Joe Muscat. And we're in front. I'm not sure what their defender was doing. Somehow no one tracked Joe Muscat's run, and he's able to get to the ball and pull it back, and the defender, under no pressure whatsoever, turns it past his own keeper. It's been pretty even in terms of possession, but we've managed to keep them to little chances. But I mean, for once, can't really fault the keeper there. The cross comes in, header against the bar, does brilliantly to save the rebound. It's just their centre forward reacts quickest, and it's 1-1. So 1-1 at half time. I have to say, pretty disappointing because the number of chances we've created, we should be further ahead. They're not good chances because the XG is the same for both of us, although theirs is probably inflated by that tap in. We're going to play Danny Rose through the middle and take off Street because he's not really performed, and we'll bring Dion Moore on and see if he can add a bit of impetus to the attack. The second half has seen no chances. So having said that, no, that looked offside. Please tell me that was offside. Yeah. Can we nick it? That's going to be disallowed as well, isn't it? Yeah. That's hellish close. So we come out with a 1-1 draw. Looking at the live league table there, I suspect that Bath and Dorking both drew their games because we didn't lose any ground on either of them. Not the best performance. We should have scored more, but we've not lost any ground and we still have those games in hand. Yeah, so Bath and Dorking obviously drew because we're still 3 points behind Dorking and 4 behind Bath with 2 and 3 games respectively in hand. That puts us in a great position going into the second half of the season.